The easiest way to open a bucket. Oh, brother. Hey, I already showed you. This is a 5-gallon container of roofing material. And I already told you from the beginning to open this, to take the little strip and find out where the end is and break it off, zip it off. Okay, I've already done that. And now I've used probably 4 gallons of this material. I got to get in this again, and I've got my gloves on because it's way easier to put it on with the gloves. And then I find out where the notch was, because this piece is always kind of hard to lift up for some reason. Okay, so you turn it around, find it, and I like to work from right to left. It's easier for me, and I'm just going to put my feet on the bucket, and I'm going to not go for this one that's got the notch in it. I'm going to go for the next one, and I'm going to lift it up as hard as I can. I'm going to slide it over and get the next one. Lots of times you're going to start pulling this up and find out that this one goes back down and it's not going to open, and then this one's going to go back down. Okay, but just start from here and start working it and working it, and eventually you're going to get it. See, that one's already popped closed again, but I'm just going to keep working from that one side and get this so it's starting to lift up, and it's already started. Now it's making it easier. Okay, now I can keep going, and it's almost ready. You don't have to undo the very last one. At this point you can just pull it up and get it off. Okay, that's about the easiest I found working. Put my feet here and working here from right to left. Boom, boom, boom. Then I can slide it. Hey, if you don't do that, it's going to be hard to get it off, and especially if you don't have any gloves on. These are just crummy rubber gloves, and you do it by hand. Man, it seems like it's hard. It's just you're gonna feel like a weakling. Trust me. Okay, there you go. Try that next time you're ready to open a bucket. And it doesn't have to be a bucket with roofing material in it. It can be a bucket with paint in it. It can be a bucket with drywall mud in it, whatever. When I get done with this bucket all the way through, I'm going to clean it off, and then I'm going to use it just for a little trash bucket or whatever. And you'll be surprised when you get done with painting buckets or drywall buckets. Save a few of those. They're good in landscaped area. They're good for washing your car. They're good for rinsing out, and like cleaning a kitchen floor and rinsing that out, and you can use it for your ongoing buckets. No need to pay for a bucket, okay, at the store anymore. And going one step further, here's the bucket lid. Have you ever noticed on the buckets there's a rubber gasket in there all the way around? And that's to keep the air out, and especially if you tip it over or something, it's going to try to keep it in there. Well, that's kind of a good thing, and I always try to clear off all of the paint or roofing material off of there, so when I get it back on there, if I don't use all this, I'll get a good seal on here if that rubber gasket stays in. Don't pull it out if you can help it. Keep that sucker in there. And as for these lids, save the lids, and you never know when you're going to need it for your buckets. No need to go to the store. If you need just one bucket, yeah, you can go to the store and buy a bucket at Lowe's or the Home Depot. You can buy a bucket for, $5, $6, and then they sell the lids separately for $2, $3. And now for almost $10 you can get your bucket with a lid. But my suggestion is save your paint buckets, or if you're paying somebody to do your painting or something, or your drywall, and you're at a construction site, hey, can I have a couple of your buckets? Yeah, sure, take them. There's never any way that they're ever going to use all of their empty buckets and lids, okay? Remember that. Here's another caulking tip. Yes, another one. When I clean that, between the two, I had to take all that black tar out of there, and the tar had eaten the paint right off, and the primer behind it in a few areas where it was lower than where I was going to caulk. So I just went ahead and used the caulking as my primer and put it on there and kind of wiped it around on the raw metal along there, and just used my finger. And then when that dries, and then I waited for a while, and then I put a second coat over the entire thing and blended everything in. Okay, now after that dries, I can paint it. Had I have left raw metal, I couldn't have just covered it with my regular exterior paint until I put a prime coat on it first, or else the paint could be in jeopardy of lifting off of the raw metal. Does that make sense? Now that's not going to happen because I caulked it first, just in that one area. Okay, ready to go.